Here's a joke. If two vegans are arguing, is it still called beef? Hey guys, I'm Lesego, a registered dietitian based in Johannesburg, practicing at a private practice as well as a government hospital. Welcome to Nuts and Bowls. I am passionate about plant-based eating and making it simpler for you to understand and implement. Alright, so before we get started, I'd like to define plant-based eating and show you the different types of plant-based eating so that we're all on the same page. So plant-based eating is defined as a diet that is based off of plant foods, so that includes plant protein. So this doesn't have to be completely plant-based, but the basis of the diet is plant-full or full of plants. So there are different types of plant-based diets. There's the vegetarian, pescatarian, the vegan, and the semi-vegetarian. So the vegetarian has three other types of diets. There's the lacto-vegetarian, which is somebody who will eat dairy but no other animal products. And an ovo-vegetarian is someone who will eat eggs and no other animal products. And then a lacto-ovo-vegetarian is someone who eats both dairy and eggs but no other animal products. And then a pescatarian is someone who will eat fish but no other animal products. A vegan decides to not eat any animal products at all and bases their entire diet off of plants. And this also includes no honey. Someone who eats a semi-vegetarian diet is someone who will eat some animal foods. So they incorporate some animal foods. This is completely up to them. Which animal foods they want to include is up to them. It's really not a strict diet. It can also be called a flexitarian. So for today's video, I went on my Instagram to ask if you have any questions for me about plant-based eating, and I got a few responses. Thank you so much for your engagement. So I'll be answering those questions in this video. All right, so the first question is, why would you recommend it? So there are multiple reasons why people generally go plant-based. So there are four main reasons. The first reason would be for its health benefits. The second would be for animal welfare, something people are very, very passionate about. The third for environmental sustainability. And the fourth, just for personal preference. Some people feel that plant foods just taste a lot better than animal-based foods, and that's fair. As a dietitian, my main recommendation would be because of its health benefits. It's proven time and time again that plant-based foods have a really great contribution to the reduction of chronic diseases such as type 2 diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular diseases, and so on. Even some sorts of cancers. And for a personal reason that I'm really passionate about is about environmental sustainability. So environmental sustainability means that it conserves natural resources and protects global ecosystems to support health and well-being for now and in the future. And plant-based diets ticks all of those boxes. So it reduces greenhouse gases and uses much less land and animals. So that just already conserves our natural resources. The second question is, what are good sources of protein on a plant-based diet? So there are plenty of good sources of protein out there. They are affordable and really easy to access for everyone. There are beans and legumes, lentils, all types of nuts, all types of nut butters. There's also plant-based dairy or milk alternatives that you can also look for if you do not want to consume any dairy. There's also tofu, tempeh, and seitan, which all originated in Asia, and those are also quite high in protein. Those can be a little bit difficult to access in South Africa, but it's also very easy to make them, and one day I will post a video showing you exactly how to make these lovely sources of protein, as well as how to cook them in your meals. There are also meat alternatives, but meat alternatives are often very high in fat and salt, and we don't really recommend them to be a foundational part of your diet or an everyday part of your diet, just because they're so high in your processed, or they're highly processed. So it's not something we really recommend. So for your meat alternatives, like your fake chicken or your fake sausage, or your vegan or vegetarian sausages and chicken and things like that, we often recommend that you just eat them once in a while, more as a treat, just so that you don't increase your risk of these chronic diseases that a plant-based diet can generally just help you with reducing if you do it the right way. Okay, the third question, is it possible to gain weight on a plant-based diet for fitness purposes, for example, bulking? So yes, it is. So that's the simple kind of answer. The longer answer is you really need to see a dietitian, for a dietitian to figure out your personal requirements, to sit with you and discuss your personal goals and where you want to reach. And the dietitian, you and your personal trainer, if you have one, can all work together to help you reach your fitness goals. But you need to combine a good diet. You need to have enough food, so that's having enough of all of your macros, so your protein, your carbs, and your fats, as well as training the right exercises for you to be able to bulk. So if you want to read up on people who've actually bulked up on vegan diets, we have powerlifters Patrick Babonian, Ryan Stills, Pat Reeves, and Yolanda Press are all powerlifters that you can read about and follow, and they are powerlifting and bulking up all on vegan diets, and it's something that they absolutely advocate for. So yes, it is possible. Just see your dietitian for her to help, him or her or they, to help you with your goals. All right, so the fourth question is, how do you do a plant-based diet and avoid wastage caused by produce spoilage? So this is quite a good question. I think it happens to the best of us. We want to go on this health journey, and then we eat or buy too many fruits and vegetables, and they're all packed in our fridge. We don't eat them fast enough, and then they all go spoiled. So there are special ways sometimes to store certain vegetables or herbs or fruits that can help with making them store longer. So I will do a video on that soon enough. If you really want to see it, then leave a comment in the comment section below. But you need to ask yourself why you are not consuming these vegetables, or why they're spoiling. Is it because you are buying too much? Is it because you're not cooking them and eating them? And then fix the problem from there. So if you are buying too many fruits and vegetables at one time, I would recommend that you rather buy your fresh produce weekly rather than monthly. So if you do that, then you buy a smaller portion and you cook for the amount of meals that you'll be making for that week. If you are not cooking your fruits and vegetables, or just your vegetables and not eating your fruits, then you need to figure out why that is. Is it because you're very busy and you don't have time to cook in the evenings? Is your lifestyle just not allowing that for you? Then meal prepping is something that you should consider, taking one day out of your week to prepare all of your vegetables and all of your food for the week, and that will help you a lot with consuming everything so that you don't leave everything to spoil. Another thing you can consider is buying frozen vegetables. They are just nutritious, and they are often a little bit more cost effective than fresh produce, especially if you're not going to be cooking the fresh produce every single day. So frozen vegetables are definitely a great option. All right, so the last question, how can you incorporate more plant-based meals as someone who is not vegan? So this is also great because we always recommend for plant-based food to be in everybody's diet, regardless of whether they want to be vegan or vegetarian or not. So the way you can do this is to make sure that you have 2 fruits every day and 3 portions of vegetables every day. So at your lunch and your supper, make sure at least half of your plate is filled with your non-starchy vegetables, and then at least you're having 2 servings of your fruits at your snack times. You can incorporate fruit in your breakfast as well if you wish, but that is a really big thing. If you get your fruits and vegetables down, then you really are halfway to a really good plant-based diet. What you could also do is incorporate some of your plant-based protein in some of your stews, or you can mix them up with your grains. You can mix up your lentils with your rice just to incorporate your plant-based protein, because they're super high in fiber and other nutrients that are important. So you're having both plant-based protein and animal protein in one dish, and you're having a plant-based dish. It's just has meat on it or has an animal type of protein on it. Alright guys, that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe to the channel and remember to click the notifications bell right next to the subscribe button so that you do not miss my next upload. Also remember to hit the like button and add a comment below and tell me what you would like to know about plant-based eating, what you don't understand, what you'd like to get a little bit more information from a credible source. All right, see you next time.